Your wish? All right.
Yes, my lord. Ready to serve. Yes, my liege.
Hangman has begun to... The Sentinel's weaponsmiths are among the best in Britannia, and they breed quality war horses as well. You could use this rare opportunity to improve your heavy infantry. The Kingdom of Elmet has a very effective army owing to their strict training methods. You could trust their veterans with the training of your own warriors. This would provide a steady source of reinforcements and regular advancement.
Yes, my lord. Ready to serve. Ready to serve.
Ready to serve. On my way.
roaming beyond Hadrian's Wall are a constant threat.
Ready to serve?
Yes, my king.
Yes, my lord. On my way.
Your wish?
Ready to serve? Yes, my lord. On my way.
All right.
Ready to serve?
Yes?
On my way.
All right.
Oberon told you that Nimue found shelter among the northern Pict tribes. This is the perfect opportunity to destroy the Fomorian gate that has opened on the border between the land of the Picts and the Firbolg giants. Lord Oberon intervened on your behalf, so you will be able to offer your help to the Firbolg king. The camp of the giants is small by their standards, but still bigger than anything you have ever seen. There are more than 100 giants here, and since they are all warriors, you see women and children as well. They are a formidable army, particularly with their wargs. The king is a muscle-bound warrior, taller than 4 men. He grins down at you and greets you in his thundering voice. You are a brave, tiny human to come alone. You don't look like the females of the tribes. More like the crystal people of the forest who call themselves she. The warrior sent by the king of the crystal people told us why you are here. But we have to wait until the king of the wasteland tribes arrives. Now eat. The enormous servings of meat start to arrive on big, flat stones instead of plates. The feast has begun. The Picts arrive after noon. The leaders of the 7 tribes are all here, led by the elder shaman dressed. The warriors escorting them look at you and the giant with suspicion. If Oberon was able to convince these 2 enemies to negotiate, he must be very influential. The king welcomes the chieftains who give him presents, following the ancient custom. They give him an old stone axe, which was captured 2 generations ago. It looks like negotiations will start in a good spirit. When they sit down, the king asks you to begin your speech. Drest listens to you with great interest. The northern Picts were always mighty warriors, and under the guidance of a powerful enchantress, they might be even more dangerous. Obviously, none of them wants to negotiate about an alliance like this. They simply don't regard the situation as dangerous enough. The king of the giants listens to you carefully. The steep rocks have protected them so far, but if the Fomorians attack from behind, it could be the end of them. If they can't destroy the gate, they can't stop the hordes. After much persuasion, the king and the shaman seem to show an inclination to form an alliance. Then Drest suddenly gives you a mischievous look and asks you how your tiny army will be useful for them against the Fomorians.
I can guide your armies and destroy the enemy. In return, I only want Nimue alive. I must interrogate her because she knows where my master Merlin is being held.
After a brief conciliation, both parties accept your offer, and they promise to send you an army against Nimue, and troops to help you free Merlin. The Furbolgs are grim warriors, and their ice-covered beards lend them a fearsome aspect. Still, they obey without hesitation. After 2 days, you reach the river between the lands of the giants and the Picts. According to Oberon, a possessed shaman wants to open a gate around here. You can't sense the exact location of the gate, but you feel the weight of a great, menacing power that is slowly taking form and shape somewhere around here, like a stone growing in your guts. One group returns soon, and the scouts report that they did not find anything. Still, the ones you sent northeast are missing. Most probably they have found the Fomorians, but they were careless. In the riverbed, a darkly shimmering gate is forming slowly. The Fomorian that is helping to bring it into the world is the most repulsive creature you have ever seen. With him are picked warriors who have reached the last phase of transformation. They howl when they see you and try to repel your attack. The partly transformed, possessed Picts are formidable enemies. Somehow they even manage to push one of the frost giants into the magical vortex around the forming gate. You break through the Pict ranks and attack the savages who backed the Furbolg into a corner. You pick up a nasty wound on your leg, but finally you put them to flight. The giants saw you saving their brother, and now they charge the Picts with a roaring battle cry. The fight slowly draws to an end. You slay a few more Picts and suddenly realize that it's over. Your soldiers stagger around wounded and exhausted, and even the giants are bleeding from several wounds, although they look less weary. The vortex is immensely powerful, and concentrating on its energies makes you dizzy, as if you were staring into a dance of whirling stars. And it's getting stronger. You are unable to close it, even with the help of the Shard of the Grail. You sense a strange connection between the body and the vortex. Ethereal threads of dark magic unknown even to you. You order a giant to throw the Fomorian corpse into the vortex. You see a blinding flash, and both the gate and the corpse disappear. You give a colorful account of the battle, and the king of the giants listens excitedly. When you tell him about the closing of the gate, he even invites you to feast again. Before you leave, he sends you to meet those giant younglings who have decided to join you to find new, glorious battles.
Something very unexpected has happened, my lord. All this time that I've been hunting Nimue, she was always one small step ahead of me. And now that I'm so close, she has sent me a messenger. Nimue wishes to meet me in person, on neutral ground. She even dares to propose some mutually beneficial agreement between us. I trust not a word of this treacherous Unseelie, of course. And at the very least, I expect a trap, though a simple one. Still, I shall deal with her one way or another. On my way!
Yes, my liege.
Yes?
Ready to serve. Ready to serve. On my way.
You must find Sir Kay in a haunted castle, where the wall between the worlds is weaker, and a desperate man could try to break into the pathways of the Sidhe, which are now out of reach. It's a strange place where time flows at an unnatural pace, and everything can be deceiving. Castle Roxburgh is a majestic ruin. The outlines of the old towers cut into the ashen sky like jagged blades. The windows are gaping holes and crows circle above the decrepit rooftops. You are alone on the plain, and suddenly you feel that the castle is bigger than you thought. You walk through the open gate and enter an empty hallway. You immediately feel the closeness of the other world to this place. The cold draft on your face carries the stench of winter mist, and soft whispers fill the silence. You see two doors leading in different directions. The door slams shut behind you with a thud, and it won't budge at all. Suddenly, a cold wall of mist sweeps through the empty corridor, and ghastly shapes appear from the haze. They begin to take shape, forming flesh from the fog, radiating freezing cold. There are dozens of them. You sweep away the ghosts, but suddenly you realize that your last foe is Sir Kay himself.
Traitor!
You bellow at him.
You broke your oath as a knight of the Round Table.
You are surprised to hear that he echoes your exact words, and it fills you with sheer hatred. You rush at him with a mighty swing of your sword. Your anger gives you impossible strength, and he can't defend himself. Then you glimpse your fallen foe, and you are stunned to see that he's King Arthur. Then he disappears as a vision, and you walk away. It all feels like a dream. You step into the sad remains of a former library. The shelves are empty, and the heaps of ancient tomes lying on the floor have rotten away entirely. You take your time though, and you find a scroll that survived the destruction. It's about the methods of forging a magical item. You reach a hall where the floor has fallen in, and the gaping hole reaches to the door. You take a step when the stones fall from under you, and you fall into the abyss. You can hardly grab the ledge, and you look up to face Sir Kay. "You killed the king, traitor!" he shrieks. The surge of arcane power pushes Kay into the depths. Suddenly, you could swear that he disappeared in a blinding light, and it reminds you of something important that you'd forgotten. Then it's over, but it still feels like a dream. You wander through dark corridors, but you have no idea for how long. You've lost your sense of time. Everything feels so unreal here that you don't bat an eyelid when you step into a room and see Sir Kay before you. A ghostly, monstrous shape holds him in place with its ethereal tentacles. The strange creature is so lost in whatever terrible thing it's doing with Sir Kay that it only becomes aware of you when the sword cuts into its tentacled head. You watch it die in pain. Then you stare grimly at Kay. You think that he's dead, when suddenly his face twitches. Kay opens his eyes, and to your greatest amazement he looks at you with relief. You saved me, Lancelot, as you always do. As a knight, I can't forgive what you did to King Arthur, but I'm grateful as a mortal man. You see that he's dying, and there is nothing you can do. You look for answers in the emptiness where your memories once were. Could it be true what Kay told you? What about the visions you saw here? Was it all deception, the curse of this place? Why would you have attacked your king? You leave the castle determined to find the truth.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, my king!
Yes, my lord.
Yes?
Ready to serve. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord.
Yes, my lord!
Ready to serve. Yes, my lord.
Ready to serve.
Ready to serve.
King Cole has a very powerful army. He commands great strategists and experienced soldiers. This suggests the idea that you might take advantage of the good relations. The She Council has been the most secretive of all the keepers of arcane secrets. However, now they are stranded in Viraconium, cut off from their magical land of Tir na Nog, and they desperately require resources.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Ready to serve.
On my way!
The alliance of the Picts and the giants of the northern lands is in jeopardy. One chieftain's son was taken captive by the Picts, who demand that the giants retreat to the mountains, otherwise they kill the prisoner. The giants can't sneak into the Pictish camp, and the prisoner dies if they openly attack the savages. This is certainly not the most ideal situation for you to negotiate about recruitment.
Yes, my lord! On my way!
You've received an unexpected visitor, an envoy from your nemesis, Nimue. She invites you to negotiate about the possibility of working together. Considering the past, this is a strange proposition, but your allies like the idea of resolving this conflict without battle, and it's their soldiers you lead, so you've little choice. At least this gives you the opportunity to deal with Nimue personally, one way or another. Nimue's envoy is a strange picked shaman, whose blind eyes are the color of milk. He recites the invitation in a monotonous voice like a living puppet. Your meeting point is at the ancient standing stones in the valley tomorrow, and you may both bring no more than 4 bodyguards along. The envoy falls silent for a while, and you realize he has some invisible connection with Nimue. Moments later, the shaman recites a few formalities, expressing the hope for a successful negotiation. No doubt, words come directly from his master. As the envoy leaves, you think about what precautions you should take. You could formulate a second plan just in case, or maybe even try to take advantage of the situation and double-cross Nimue. You make the necessary preparations. You can take further steps if you wish. You make the necessary preparations. You can take further steps if you wish. The next morning, as you head to the meeting place, a thick cloud of mist descends upon the whole area just as you planned. You hope to arrive early, but Nimue is already waiting for you with her small group of bodyguards. It seems she kept to the agreement and only brought 4 picked warriors, although you sense that their bodies have been imbued with strong magic. She appears calm, and her face betrays no emotion as you approach. Still, You can't shake the feeling that you're walking into a trap. So here we are, she begins when you stop walking, acting like your duel never happened. She offers her alliance against the Fomorian champions, stating that they are the real threat to both of you. She adds that she's ready to tell you where Merlin is if you accept. She lets out an impatient sigh, but decides to talk anyway. She tells you she had been in league with Morgause until recently, but when the Fomorian champions began to appear in Britannia, she decided the Witch Queen wasn't worth following anymore. Nimue wants to return to Tir-na-nog, but there are only a few pathways open, and the only one she knows is guarded by a Fomorian champion and its nest. You keep looking for signs of deception, but her explanation seems to make sense. You can easily believe that she would betray her master and then leave this world to its fate.
I've always found the concept of justice an amusing, albeit pointless thing, she smiles. But let's say I owe you. What kind of compensation would you demand? Done, she says, before you could even finish your sentence. I'll have the gold delivered to your camp before sunset. Now, can we negotiate? She asks in a challenging tone. You can't decide whether she intends to deceive you, or she's simply that rich. She promises access to her territory, an opportunity to rebuild your army, and even offers to trade magical items. In return, she asks that you forget the past and provide magical assistance against the Fomorians later. She would tell you the whereabouts of Merlin as an added bonus. Imprisoning Merlin was part of my deal with Morgause. Now that we have parted ways, I have no interest in keeping the wizard locked up. Besides, Dalriata is swarming with worms, so I could not get to him even if I wanted to. This knowledge is simply worthless to me. She seems a bit surprised by your response, but then she steps forward. Come then. Let us put a seal on our agreement so neither of us can break it without retort, she says, extending her hand towards you with a glowing magical sigil in her palm.
As you grab Nimu's hand and command your warriors to attack, she immediately casts a quick spell on you. The burst of magic stuns you for a moment, and she breaks free, but your warriors still manage to catch her. Her guards try to help her, but they are defeated quickly. After the fight, as Nimue is brought before you, her image suddenly distorts and she turns into the picked shaman you met before. Crafty little witch, you think to yourself. She must have used a magical link between them to create an illusion of her presence. The shaman begins to speak with Nimue's voice. "So I guess we won't be allies," she says. "A pity, but I still have an offer for you. That shaman is a valuable tool for me, so I'd like him back. I'm willing to share Merlin's whereabouts with you if you let him go." You reach out and touch the shaman's mind with yours. You sense his weak, suppressed thoughts, and through them you begin to see Nimue's memories. She cuts the magical link in moments, but it's too late. You have already found out where Merlin is. You return to your army, thinking you've probably averted a treacherous scheme of Nimue's, and you now know where your master is being held. There is one last obstacle you must overcome, and you're certain that defeating the worms of Dalriata will prove to be quite a challenge.
What a strange turn of events, my Lord Pendragon. I've chased this treacherous Unseelie across Britannia, cornered her here in the north, only to leave our duel without shedding a drop of blood. Nimue has left the service of Queen Morgause and even revealed the road to Merlin's prison. I must go to the mountain of a mad wizard who is long dead and break through its magical defenses. Then I can release my master from his shackles. All right.
Ready to serve. Ready to serve. Ready to serve. On my way. Ready to serve.
Ready to serve.
Ready to serve. Ready to serve. On my way.
shield is fading. Weather conditions changed. A spell has been cast. Your spell was absorbed. Your spell was absorbed. The enemy hero is casting a spell. The enemy has cast a spell. Weather conditions changed. A spell was cast. Your spell was absorbed. The enemy hero is casting a spell. A spell was cast. Your spell was absorbed. A spell was cast. The enemy hero is casting a spell. A spell has been cast. A spell has been cast. A spell has been cast. The enemy has cast a spell. Victory is near. Enemy has cast the spell.
Yes? All right.
The entity that used to rule the She of Britannia, the mysterious Oberon, has almost reached his goal. He is close to creating a new Deepwood in the north, but he lacks the arcane power to finish what he has begun. When you turn to him for help, he proposes that you send him a few powerful magical items, or use the Shard of the Grail to strengthen the magic that seeped in to the northern soil, and one day will give birth to a majestic new Deepwood.
All right.
The entity that used to rule the She. Chased the treacherous Nimue across Britannia, fought dragons and bargained with whomever you had to, but you're finally within arm's reach of finding Merlin. However, your trials aren't over yet. You know from Nimue that this mountain was once home to a mad wizard who left behind magical defenses, making the place dangerous to explore. That won't stop you, but you decide to leave your men behind this time.
All right.
Yes, my liege. Ready to serve. Ready to serve. On my way.
Ready to serve.
Ready to serve. Ready to serve. On my way.
Yes, my king. On my way.
Your spell was absorbed. The enemy started to capture one of your locations. Your magic shield is fading. Your spell was absorbed. Your spell was absorbed. Enemy units have captured a location. Your units are in danger. Your men are going to die. Your unit is going to die. Your magic shield is under normal strength. Your magic shield is fading. A spell has been cast. Your men are going to die. Your hero is in grave danger. Your spell was absorbed.
Ready to serve. All right. On my way.